Josh, the last couple of days we've been talking about it, and I just want you to weigh in too. Kyle Lowry, should he have been traded at the deadline if this is where you're going to end up? Do you think it was a miscalculation or maybe an ask price too high, or they have something up their sleeve? We're trying to figure out, because if you really aren't going to use him to win games, and you just said if LA's his last game, did you see a missed opportunity to maybe grab an asset for him or two at the deadline to continue to help to recycle or cycle, through the younger players now?
It's a really good question, Noodles. It's the question right now in terms of Kyle Lowry and his future with the Raptors. Did they miscalculate? Did they mismanage that situation? I think it's impossible to really answer without knowing two things. First, we have to know what was out there in terms of the offers. I have a pretty good idea of what it was, and it wasn't great. And I think that's what we've heard. That's what a lot of people have heard around the NBA, is that the market for Lowry at the deadline it was pretty underwhelming. The Raptors weren't happy with the offers, and that not only did no one meet their asking price, regardless of how high it was, nobody even came close to that. But the second thing, and I think this is actually the biggest factor, is do the Raptors know that Kyle Lowry isn't coming back next year? If the answer is yes, then I would agree with you and argue that, yeah, at that point, you take whatever you could get, even if it's a low-level prospect or a pick that's not really that great. You take it if you know that it's that or nothing that Kyle Lowry walks. But I'm not sure that they know he's not coming back. I think, one, they like the idea that they still have him. They've got his bird rights. They've got the option of bringing him back. And I think there's still some value in that potentially, because this is not a team that's rebuilding. This is not a team that's pulling the plug and tearing things down after this year. This is a team that still wants to win. And as we talked about, Kyle Lowry helps you win. There's still a possibility, I think, that he's a Raptor next year. And then there's also the possibility of a sign and trade. Depending on where Kyle wants to go, if he does end up leaving, if it's, let's say, Miami, they've got some money, maybe they can sign him outright. But what if he wants to go to Philadelphia? What if he wants to go to one of the LA teams, the Clippers or the Lakers? They don't have enough money to sign him outright, which means that they would have to make a sign and trade with the Raptors. And at that point, if the offers were so bad in March, maybe they end up getting as much or more for him in a sign and trade in a couple months from now than they would have at the trade deadline. So I think those things are considerations in terms of the tank scenario. If they had moved Kyle Lowry, even from a tank standpoint, I'm not sure that they still lose enough games to end up further than they are right now. I just don't think, you could have moved Kyle Lowry or even shut him down at that point in the year. But all the other guys that were helping you win that you would theoretically need to sit and shut down in order to go full tank, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, Fred VanVleet, those are the guys that help you win, but they're also guys that are all under 28 years old. They're all still in the development stages of their career, and you need those guys to play. They gave them rest nights here and there, and they basically shut those guys down now. But you needed those guys on the court in order to help them grow. So the Raptors, I think when it comes down to it, they're just not a team that was built to go full tank this year, and that's why they ended up where they ended up.